Hey there, welcome back to the studio. So I had a request from someone to have a demonstration of how I take my design off of the glass once I've done a faux stained glass, and in order for me to be able to use the glass again in the future for a new pattern. So I'm going to demonstrate that today, and I'm going to go ahead and bring you down to the table so you can see that in process. Okay, so for this piece, this was a 2-panel stained glass piece that I had done. Half of it was a sunrise, this was the clouds and the skyline and the ground coming out. It was 2 windows side by side, beautiful piece. However, I'm ready to move on to something new. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this frame and we'll get started with removing the faux stained glass that I have on top of this piece of glass. Okay, so it does take some tools sometimes. So what I did in this corner down here is I scraped a little bit with a scraper. So I don't know if you can see this, but that then brought up the corner of the glue. If you've looked at my videos before about faux stained glass, you'll know that this black is actually acrylic paint, and black acrylic paint and Elmer's glue all mixed together to make the design. And then the colors are clear glue and alcohol inks to make this beautiful design. So I'm changing this out. So now all I did is I just loosened this corner. I have it on a towel because if the glass breaks, I want to be prepared. So make sure that corner's kind of clean, and then I just actually begin removing. So I just kind of keep on going. And I have a plastic putty knife, which is not very helpful for starting the process, but it keeps me from breaking the glass on the edges. Now you can use a metal one once you get to the middle, but the edges are what's really super stuck. And you just go along like this, and you can actually peel and then move on to the next piece if you want with a scraper. So you see how easy that is to peel? Now some of the pieces are going to be stuck, like see this black that's here? That will be a little harder, and if you can't get it up with your plastic knife, you may have to get a metal knife to scrape it up. I actually have a screwdriver, and sometimes I just work at it a little bit at a time and it pops off. See that? But you don't ever want to push too hard or you're going to break your glass. So just be gentle with these pieces here. And go ahead and peel it up, and then you will have glass that's ready for painting again, a new design. All right, thanks for watching. Okay, so this is piece number 2. This piece has been in my collection for many years. And so it is much more difficult to remove than just scraping. So one of the things that you can do in order to remove this, because if you remember, we have a glue-based product here. So you can lay paper towels on your piece and moisten them and get them really wet. Now let me show you where I have done that already right here in this spot. So if you moisten them and get them really wet, they'll begin to peel off because they're just glue and water. All right, so that's method number 2 for a piece that you've had for a long time. You should be able to take it off with just soaking it with glue and water. This piece will come off easier than the black, so the soaking will help that black. And then I wanted to show you that for some pieces, what I do is I will just refresh them. This one has been hanging in a window for several years, and I noticed that some of the reds stayed and some of the reds have faded away. So I'm just going to mix up a little bit of red, alcohol ink, clear school glue. I buy the clear school glue in the gallon tubs, and always test your glue to be sure that it is not a glue that's going to turn yellow. So there's my red. Just take a little paintbrush. Now this might have a little bit of some bubbles in it because I just mixed it fresh. So I'll keep an eye on that, but I just refresh my color and let it dry. And this one I won't peel off. I'll just have a new painting with just refreshed colors. So thank you again for demonstration on piece number 3. And so when I refreshed the colors on this one, I did not even choose all of the same colors. I just made it up as I went along. So as you can see, it turned out nice, even with different colors.